welcome to episode number 10 of the Mad About You podcast. My name is Madeline and I'm your host for today. And this is, like I said, episode number 10, I think. If not, I'll change that. So this is a video podcast, mostly about knitting, sometimes some crochet and occasionally some sewing. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you're a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. I hope you find something that you like. And if you do, feel free to subscribe or follow me on any of the social medias, which I'll probably put at the end. It's been 2 weeks, I think, maybe 3 since I last podcast. And I wanted to podcast earlier, but I didn't really have anything. And then I was a little bit busy. Last weekend was full on. And then this weekend, it's towards the end of the day on Sunday, and I'm going away for a few weeks, which I'll talk more about at the end. So I thought I really should get a podcast done. So I don't really have a whole heap to talk about, so hopefully this will be about, maybe 15 minutes max. Just a short little teaser before I'm back, able to record in December. So I have a few things acquisition-wise to show, and then we'll go into my current WIPS, and then I'll talk about what I want to achieve, and hopefully if you compare this episode with the next one come later on this year, I'll actually have finished some of those off. Apologies for the bad lighting. It's just a pretty miserable afternoon here in Sydney, Australia, and anyway, let's crack on. So I spoke a few episodes ago about my sending some yarn overseas to Carrie of Freckled Whimsy. So this is her business card here. And so frecklewhimsy.com. She's on Instagram as Freckled Whimsy. So Carrie Winters is her name. And so I sent some yarn all the way over to America, and I got them cranked into sock tubes. So if you've seen my Instagram a few weeks ago, last weekend actually, I posted a picture of the tube, and I thought I'd just show you what I got. So they all came in nicely packaged like this, and she's put my yarn tag on there, and the whole thing was really easy. So I chose how many I wanted. I think I bought through her website, not Etsy. And then we had a phone, I paid my money, we had a conversation, she sent me a fact sheet, I filled out all the things, what my gauge is usually like, so she could try and match it. And then I chose a few different ways to get my socks. So I think sock snakes is maybe what Amy from the Stranded podcast calls them. And so this one was just a cheapy yarn I got from one of our big box stores in Australia, which was Spotlight. So it's a motive Vera, not just socks 4-ply. So I don't really want to knit with it, but I thought, okay, well, I'll send it over to the States to get knit up into a tube. So this one I got her to crank one long tube. So the white in the middle is waste yarn, so it's kind of 250-ish grams, I guess, tubes. And all I have to do now is put the heels, toes and cuffs in, which I haven't done for any of these, but I thought I'd just show them to you so you can have a look at what I did. Now this one here is a pair for me, and I actually got her to do the rolled hem cuff, which is something that you can do on the circular sock machine. So if you look really closely, I think it's a 1x1 rib, or no, it's all knit, sorry. And it slightly flares out a little bit more than the actual material, but so I'm keen to give that one a go. So this was Opal Hot and Spicy, I think. Sweet and Spicy, sorry. And I bought this at the Canberra Celebration of Wool, not this year, the last year that I was there. So look, I was a little bit scared about sending heaps of skeins or 4 skeins of hand-dyed yarn overseas, and I sort of wish I had sent one so I could see how that cranked up. But I didn't. I sent 3 skeins of commercial sock yarn, which I'm pretty happy with. I got one done in a tighter gauge because it's what I would knit for myself, and then the other 3 pairs, 2 for my husband and 1 for my dad, which is this one here. So it's his football colours. So that'll be his Christmas present. And I've been wanting to make him a pair of socks, but I really didn't want to knit yellow and black socks. So I took that opportunity to send that off as well. All I have to do is the heels, toes and cuffs on 3, and then a toe and a heel on the pair for me. So I don't think I'll get all of those done by December, but I'm hoping to at least get the ones for the boys or my dad and my husband done so I can gift those for Christmas, and then maybe I can work on the other one over my Christmas break. So an acquisition, but also about to become a work in progress. So yeah, that's really cool. I'll see how it goes. I do want to buy a circular sock machine, or I think I like the idea of that, but I'd like to give it a go, and that was, whilst not exactly cheap sending to America from Australia, and then postage back, I figured, you know, it's, I think it was about $140 for 4 pairs, which is, that includes postage to America, postage back, and then her price to crank all of those. So look, I thought it was pretty reasonable. Save me a lot of time, and I'll have 3 pairs of gift socks by the end of the year. So yeah, we'll see how we go. If I don't like it, or I don't like wearing socks that I've got Afterthought heels and toes in, then at least I save myself a couple of thousands of dollars when I don't buy a sock machine. Yeah, so that's that. Oh, this light is really bad. Let's see if that goes better if I move the camera. No, worse. Is that better? Maybe. Okay, so next work in progress is my only one that I'm really working on, and that is my Radiate by Hohi. So I've spoken about this so many times, but most excitingly, I am on the ribbing on the bottom. So I did a lot of reading last weekend, so I would have finished this easily last weekend if I had have done it, but I was reading, which is something I really enjoyed as a kid, but I haven't really done much of lately. I'm sorry, I'm just going to adjust that camera. There we go. So I read heaps, and I felt that was really good for my soul, and I was in a bit of a knitting funk, but I've come out of that and progress. So I'd like to try it on, which I haven't done yet, and if I do that before I edit this and upload it, I'll take a photo. So Radiate, like I said, by Hohi Locatelli. And the yarn I was using is We Love Knitting Merino DK. So the top colour, or the green, is called Cool Mint. Anyway, and the bottom, or the other colour is called Marble. So this is it so far. And just peek around and see if you, yep, cool. So I am on the ribbing at the bottom. Oh shoot, every time I touch my microphone it changes the camera. Sorry, hope anyone doesn't get vertigo or sick. There we go. So yeah, I got this pattern. It's in Interpretations 4, and I've really enjoyed it. It's my first me-sized jumper, which I've talked about several times, so I won't bore you with that again. And I've been alternating skeins. So it does leave this seam in the middle, which started at the back, and then I transferred that to under the sleeves because I figured that was probably more or less noticeable. And I had skeins from 5 skeins from 3 different dye lots. So at first I was just using them in the first 200 grams I used the 100 grams, and then after that I split them into 50 grams when I caked them up so that I could alternate between the skeins because the outside is lighter than the inside, blah blah blah. Anyway, I think it's sort of working. Like, it's definitely kind of gone lighter to darker, which I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna love wearing that, but it is what it is. So yeah, but it's nearly finished. I mean, the body is the big one, and then the 2 sleeves. So I thought I've got 16-inch circulars, 2 of the right size that I could use, but I only have 1. So I'll have to do 1 sleeve at a time. I was kind of hoping to do 2 sleeves at a time, which I probably could do actually after the decrease. Like, I could get them both to the same point and then 2 at a time the ends, which might be not a bad idea actually, because I feel like I just want it to be finished. So yeah, that's that, and I will definitely have this done by November or December, sorry, when I can next podcast. I mean, I say definitely, I mightn't, but that is my goal, is to have a 8-ply DK jumper finished for the heat of Australian summer. Awesome. But anyway, it's all good. Well, you know, progress. And then I also have decided, mostly because I just want them finished, is that I'm going to use this pink kit, which is 3 Mums yarn on this. My 3 Mums yarn fluoro socks that I made with an Afterthought heel or place for an Afterthought heel. So I made these ages ago, showed them a couple of episodes ago, and I finally decided I just want them done. So I found this little pink mini, and I'm going to wind it up, and that's what I'll use for the heels and that. So I might do that as my practice Afterthought heel sock before I cut into my sock tubes and give that a go. So yeah, in terms of, if I just backtrack quickly, my radiate, so I haven't weighed the yarn, but I used just over 1 skein of the green, and I have 1, 2, that's 150. I've got about 180 grams left of these, of the marble. So I don't know how much each sleeve's going to take, but I reckon it'll have taken the better part of 4.5 skeins of the grey, which is good. Like, I had it, I wanted to use it up, and that's why I chose it for this particular jumper. So yeah, miles and miles of stockinette. At first I found it really nice and relaxing, and then just when I had about 10 inches to go, I just wanted it to be over. And now that I'm at the ribbing, oh, I hate 1x1 rib, but we're cracking on and it's going well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of happy that it's towards the end, but my next jumper that I want to make is the Sipper by Caitlin Hunter. So if you watched the last episode and you contacted me, thank you for voting for the Sipper. I think there was only like 4 people, but unanimous. So what I might do is try and find some yarn for the Zweig on my road trip that I'm doing at the end of the year. So yeah, look, that's all I really have to talk about now. I guess I've mentioned it before, but for any new viewers, I'm taking all of my projects on my work trip in my Finch bucket tote. So that's this one here, which I made earlier this year. So the pattern is the Finch bucket by Stitch Mischief. And she's got, I think, an Etsy store. She's also got her own website. I think she was moving away from Etsy, but yeah. And in case I get all of this stuff done, which I'm not going to do, I cast on 2 cuffs earlier this year, so I may finish these, which is just a Knit Picks Felici, but I think I'll just take that with me as a palette cleanser. But my first priority is getting that jumper done, and then putting heels and toes in this one, and then so my battery just died. But anyway, I'm back. So I don't really have much else to say, which I think is what I was saying before. And yeah, so we'll see how we go come December. I guess now we'll move into the kind of like what's happening. So yeah, I said before a few times, like, I go away for work a lot. And so we've got about a 6-week period coming up where I'll be away from home. So taking lots of projects with me, but I'm also studying for a pretty big exam in my career. So yeah, knitting time probably should be minimized, but at the same time, so I don't go insane, I really need to knit. But I've taken a few books as well, downloaded a few things on my Kindle, on my iPad, sorry, on my Kindle app, and yeah, so there'll be quite a big break between now and the next episode, and then I probably will be able to go like fortnightly through December, and then we're going on a road trip, so I may come to you from a few different places, which will be cool, and I'm going to try and sort of vlog. So yeah, that's the plan. Well, my long-suffering, lovely Instagram husband said, you know, let's vlog the trip. So it's mostly mountain biking and a bit of knitting, especially down towards the end when we go down to Victoria. So yeah, there'll be probably some car snippets and then knitting at the top of mountains or whatever we end up hiking or riding or whatnot. So yeah, be some traveling knitting this year or over Christmas break. So yeah, that's all I have. So many ums today. Bit of a hot mess, but anyway, you'll have an episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to find me on Ravelry, I'm Madbell. And if you want to find me on Instagram, I'm at mad.about.u, EWE. And yeah, that's all for now. I'll see you in December. Have a good couple of weeks. Bye.